How is it going, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and get ready to drive off into the distance with the news we have to share with you today. We will be going over new LTMs that have been activated, weekly challenges, the version 14.20 update coming very soon, birthday events, and much more. Now, before we get into today's video, if you haven't already, consider liking the video and subscribing with post notifications on just to make sure you never miss an upload from me. Without further ado, however, let's get right into today's video. Before we get into the exciting information we have to share with you guys today regarding potential birthday 2020 challenges for Battle Royale, let's talk about the more simplistic topics first just to get those out of the way. First up, version 14.20 has been officially added to the Fortnite staging servers, which means we should either expect it to arrive on September 21st or 22nd, as not only do we have the Battle Royale's birthday coming up soon, but we also have the Rocket League x Fortnite Llama Rama event set to start on September 23rd. For those curious about some bugs that will be fixed in version 14.20 of Fortnite, there is an image on screen right around now. Feel free to pause the video to read over what bugs are currently being fixed, but do note anything that says fixed in a future game update isn't 100% confirmed to be fixed in version 14.20 yet, but does have a good chance of being fixed. Now, there will also be a secondary image on screen, and by the way, you can pause these like I've already said, but these will show the bugs that are currently being investigated or have a fix developed for them. And it just seems overall that the Switch is getting a lot more attention than before. So yeah, feel free to pause it, look at those, but we're going over to our next topic. Speaking of version 14.20 of Fortnite, let's talk about the birthday event. Now, in case you missed it, the current version of Fortnite, aka version 14.10, depending on when you're watching this video, added textures for a rap codenamed Birthday 2020. Now, this did hype up people into thinking there will be a birthday event this season, and everything actually checks out. Based on the fact that Fortnite's Battle Royale game mode was released on September 26, 2017, it makes sense that due to Save the World and BR basically splitting up when it comes to updates, that we will get tons of leaks regarding Battle Royale's birthday having rewards with the version 14.20 update, which also solidifies the fact that with all of these planned events and challenges and everything, v14.20 should be on either Monday or Tuesday because we have the Fortnite Llama Rama event on that Wednesday, and then we have the Week 5 challenges on Thursday. Now, next up, let's talk about ray tracing. Ray tracing and DLSS were added to Fortnite earlier today. Now, for those who don't know what ray tracing actually is an advanced basically rendering capability that allows for new visual and lighting effects previously not possible in games such as Fortnite. Now, with the most recent update, they're delivering improved ambient occlusion, shadows, reflection, and real-time global illumination. Now, while ray tracing may look super nice, allowing mirrors and windows to actually show a decent reflection, it takes a massive, and I mean massive, hit to your FPS. For example, I have a 2080 GPU and an i9-9900K CPU, and with max settings plus the best ray tracing basically settings there were in the game, I am averaging around 50 FPS, which is really low in the Fortnite world, especially when you're going against people who are playing on the lowest graphic settings possible, 144 FPS or even higher, and it just puts you at a disadvantage in reality, even though you can see reflections through a window. Now, not all of it is bad, however, because DLSS is another thing that got added today for people with NVIDIA graphics cards such as mine, and it boosts your performance even without ray tracing enabled, which I do like. This allowed me to play Fortnite like I normally would, but instead of it averaging around 120 to 144 FPS, it can easily hit into the low 200 FPS points, not dropping below 144 FPS at all, which is absolutely awesome for me, especially since when I do live streams, people like to talk about me capping my FPS. Hey, to you guys out there, it's going to be uncapped for a little bit because DLSS exists now. Now, obviously, ray tracing, DLSS, reflex, all these things that Fortnite are adding in collaboration with NVIDIA isn't perfect, and I honestly couldn't find that many differences other than, shadows and reflections, but it shows how beautiful Fortnite can look at max settings and all the potential that Epic Games has for this game. Now, according to Epic, the minimum requirements are an NVIDIA RTX 2060 or higher, and a CPU with 4 or more cores. Now, despite these being the minimum, you may see the options on a older GPU, and please don't enable it because it's caused a lot of people's games to just crash. Also, for my Switch homies in the audience crowd, whatever you guys are, champs and champettes, for the Switch people who watch my content, I've seen your questions. I've seen them asked multiple times in my video comments about what happened to Marvel Knockout on the Nintendo Switch. Well, this LTM was disabled on the Switch due to stability issues, as some reports from people who follow me stated that their Switch was actually heavily overheating due to the Marvel LTMs. Now, Switch has had a few updates recently, sorta enabling physics, having some stability patches, and even having some bugs regarding Switch being investigated, so it's interesting to see how out of the blue Epic started pushing for higher resolution graphics and started upgrading Switch performance. We will have to see how far Fortnite can get upgraded on the Switch, as apparently Nintendo is working on a new console that can support 4K resolution. Now, let's talk about the Marvel Knockout thing real quick. This part isn't in my script at all, however, I want to address some stuff. Yes, there are stability issues, but hopefully it gets enabled eventually for your Nintendo Switch players out there. For those who don't know, the new LTM Marvel Standoff has recently just launched, which actually is like a 12v12 superpower LTM. I expect that this one will also be disabled on the Switch due to stability issues the Switch is having, because it seems to be related to the superpowers in the game. Now, for those who can play Marvel Standoff, even if you're on the Switch, there is a small chance you'll be able to. For those who want to know what it's about, Marvel Standoff is basically two large teams grabbing powers that fall from sky meteors, and they're fighting to be the last team standing. Now, respawn is enabled, however, when you get eliminated 3 times, you'll run out of respawns, and you'll basically just have to spectate the rest of your team and hope that they don't die as much as you did. Now, the first team to completely run out of lives and players loses the game. Pretty simply put, it's a fun little LTM. They have a 12v12 version, which is currently active, and a 16v16 version, which is not yet active. Last but not least, the Week 4 challenges have officially arrived, allowing you to obtain the Ferocious Wrap and the Punk variant for Storm. An image with the challenges are on screen right now, however, it appears the bottom 2 challenges aren't activated at all. Maybe this means that some of the challenges will be impossible to do in a later update, which means we'll have to have these as replacement challenges. Maybe it's just there to throw leakers off, we surely don't know. But the challenges on screen, feel free to pause, do whatever you need to. I was originally going to talk about them, but I don't feel like that's needed. Anyways, my name is FireMonkey. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was informative at all, consider liking it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace out. Bye!